Good morning, friends. In the chapters done so far, we have done equation polynomials like 3x plus 5, 4x square minus 5x plus 6, or 3x cube minus 2x square plus 9x minus 8. Okay, so we have solved the sums. So these are polynomials in one variable. If I put equal to 3 or equal to 0 or equal to minus 5, something like that, it becomes an equation. So this is a linear equation, this is a quadratic equation, and this is a cubic equation. And we have learned to solve this. This is in the 9th standard. This can be solved easily. This is done by splitting the middle term or completing the square method or the quadratic formula, that is the discriminant method. And the cubic is done by finding the factor and factorizing this and getting the roots. So this will have one real root or no real roots. This can have at max 2 real roots, and this can have at max 3 real roots. Right? Now these conditions are here. Now we move on to the next part. For example, we get x square plus y square equal to 25, or 3x plus y square equal to 4, or 4x minus 3y equal to 7. Okay? Now what is the difference you can see here? Here there was only one variable x. So when you put the value of x, you get the answers and you will find the roots here. So there is only one variable. Here we have got two variables. How you know there are two variables? X and y, they both are variables. Now here, two variables mean that both can keep on changing. So you can see, I've got an equation here, an equation here, an equation here. But here also we have got roots of the equation. For example, if I take x equal to 2 and y equal to, x equal to 3 and y equal to 4. You can see 3 square is 9, 4 square is 16, 25. If I take x equal to minus 3, y equal to minus 4, even then it is true. If I take x equal to minus 3, y equal to 4, it is true. If it takes x equal to 3, y equal to minus 4, even then the equation is true. But if I take x equal to 5, then what? So if f is equal to 5, then 5 square 25. So if x is equal to 5, y will be 0. If x is equal to 0, y is equal to 5. So here when I keep on changing the value of x, simultaneously the value of y will keep on changing. And there will be infinite possibilities. The same applies for this also. For example, if I take this as x equal to say 5. Okay, so 4 5s are 20. 20 minus 3y becomes 7. So I can write minus 3y equal to 7 minus 20, or minus 3y equal to minus 13, or y equal to 13 upon 3. So when I put x equal to 5, I get y equal to 13 upon 3. So as I keep on changing the value of x, I get corresponding change in the value of y. Now here you can see the degree of this equation is 2. But because there are two variables, if I keep on changing one variable, I will get corresponding second variable. There are infinite solutions here. Same will be applied for this and same here. When I took x equal to 5, I got y equal to 13 upon 3. If I take x equal to 0, I will get y equal to minus 7 upon 3. If I put x equal to 1, then this will be 4, y equal to 4 goes here, so 3, so y equal to minus 1. So we get infinite values. Now, this is in a degree 2, this is degree 2, this is degree 1. So in this lecture, in this chapter, we are only going to look forward to this one. It is called a linear equation in two variables. You can see that? It's a linear equation in two variables. Why we say linear equation? The degree is 1. So it is a linear equation in two variables. So now we will remove the rest and just try to focus on the linear equation. Okay? So what will we do? we'll write down a linear equation and begin. Let us say linear equation is 3x plus 2y equal to 10. Okay? Now this is the linear equation. How do I represent the linear equation on the graph? I know if we make a graph and we have got the x-axis, the y-axis, this is the negative y and negative x, this is 0. So you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And so on. Okay? Now let us type put x equal to 2. When I put x equal to 2, 3 2s are 6 plus 2y equal to 10. So 2y equal to 10 minus 6, 2y equal to 4, y equal to 2. So what happens when x equal to 2, I got y equal to 2. When I put x equal to 0, then 3 into 0 plus 2y equal to 10. 3 into 0 is 0. So 2y equal to 10, y equal to 5. So what I have got when x equal to 0, y is equal to 5. Now how I am getting these values? So what I am going to do here, watch carefully. 3x plus 2y equal to 10. I can write 2y equal to 10 minus 3x. Okay? And y is equal to 10 minus 3x upon 2. So what I have basically done here, I had a linear equation in two variables, 3x plus 2y equal to 10. So I made y the subject of the formula. How did I do that? I took the 3x positive on this side. So 2y equal to 10 minus 3x and y is equal to 10 minus 3x upon 2. So you can see what I got here. I have made y the subject of the formula, and the formula becomes, out of this the formula becomes y equal to 10 minus 3x upon 2. Now which values can I take of x? I saw when I take x equal to 2, I get y equal to 2. When I put x equal to 0, I get y equal to 5. So should I plot it on the graph? When x is 2, y is 2. So x is 2, y is 2, I get this point 2, comma 2. When x is 0, y is 5. When x is 0, y is 5. So this point I get 0, comma 5. Okay? Now let us go further. Let us take x equal to 3. Okay, now you can see here the formula is y equal to 10 minus 3x the whole upon 2. So what I will take, let me take x equal to minus 2. So 10 minus 3 into minus 2 upon 2. Minus 3 into minus 2 is minus plus 6. 10 plus 6, 16. 16 upon 2 is 8. So when x equal to minus 2, y is equal to 8. So what you can see here, this points make a straight line. These points are making a straight line. So minus 2, I'll get 8. So this is minus 2, comma 8. This is 0, comma 5. This is 2, comma 2. So what you can see here, when I keep on changing the value of x, I get a corresponding value of y. So this equation when plotted will give me a straight line. Okay. So this is, because it gives a straight line, it is called a linear equation in two variables. So what I have taken, when x equal to 2, y equal to 2, 1 point. When x equal to 0, y is equal to 5, second point. When x equal to minus 2, y is equal to 8, third point. So how many points do you think I will get? And you are right. There are infinite points on the number line. Infinite points. So as I keep on changing the value of x over here, as I keep on changing the value of x, I will get a corresponding value of y. So as I keep x equal to 2, I will get y equal to 2. When I put x equal to 0, I will get y equal to 5. When I put x equal to minus 2, I will get y equal to 8. So from this equation, I rearrange to get y as the subject of the formula. So y depends on x. So I keep on changing the x and corresponding the y keeps on changing. And when I plot the graph, I get a straight line. But which point should I take? Here I have taken a positive integer 2, here I have taken 0, here I have taken minus 2, but I can take x as root 3, I can take minus 5, minus 7 upon 2, I can take any number as x. When I take any number as x, I get a corresponding value of y, which helps me plot a line. So the general equation of this is written as, we rearrange that and write 3x plus 2y, the 10 is brought on the right side, minus 10 equal to 0. This is called an equation. So how will I write the equation? Ax plus by plus c equal to 0. So you can see there is a x term a, there is a y term whose coefficient is b, and there is constant term c. So when will you get a linear equation in two variables? When a is not equal to 0 and b is not equal to 0. A and b both should not be 0, then you get a linear equation in two variables. This is the general formula of the linear equation in two variables. So am I clear? So I'll revise it one more time. We had done equations in one variable. We can even plot the graph. We plotted the graph of a parabola, of a straight line, of a cubic polynomial. You can see in chapter number 2, we had plotted the graphs. How we plotted the graphs? Why it was called one variable? Because x was the only value changing. When you change the value of x, then the value of the equation keeps on changing. Okay, that is the point. Here we have got two variables. Now here what happens? When we change one value, x becomes 2 or 0 or minus 2, corresponding the value of y also changes. So when the value of x changes, now you can see here x and y are not independent. In our polynomials, x was independent. You could take any value of x and get a corresponding value of y. In this equation, the x and y are not independent. When you change the value of x, automatically you get a value of y, which is related by this equation. So this is a linear equation in two variables, but both these variables are related by this relationship. So this was one formula. If I take it off, then this is the general formula, remember. Okay, this is the general formula. Again I will write 3x plus 2y minus 10 equal to 0. So if you compare here, a is equal to 3, b is equal to 2, c is equal to minus 10. One particular formula. Okay, but this is one general formula. This is a general formula. Ax plus by plus c is the general formula of a linear equation in two variables. Now when you write this equation, x is related to y. When you keep on changing the value of x, corresponding the value of y will change. But when you draw the graph, you will get a straight line. So in a straight line, there are infinite points. How many points are there? There are infinite points on a straight line. So this will give us no solution at all. Now when you are looking for a particular solution, then one equation cannot give you any particular solution. Why? Because in one equation there are infinite points. So now let us look at some practical example where we need to have two equations. Okay, now let us see. Say Ramesh bought 5 pens and 3 pencils. Okay, Ramesh brought 5 pens and 3 pencils and he spent 65 rupees. The total bill is 65 rupees. He brought 5 pens plus 3 pencils for a total cost of 65 rupees. Suresh brought 3 pens and 2 pencils and the bill came to 40 rupees. So can we find out the price of 1 pen and 1 pencil? Have you understood the question? Ramesh bought 5 pens and 3 pencils for the cost of 65 rupees. Suresh brought 3 pens and 2 pencils for the cost of 40 rupees. So can you find out what is the cost of the pen and the cost of the pencil? So you can see there are two unknowns here, two variables. Can you see this? Now let us say to solve this, let me consider cost of the pen is x and cost of the pencil is y. Okay? So what I have taken, the cost of one pen is x, the cost of one pencil is y. So he has taken 5 pens. One pen costs x rupees, so 5 pens cost 5x rupees. One pencil costs y rupees, so 3 pencils cost 3y rupees. And the total bill is 65. Okay. Now for a moment, forget Suresh. Let us concentrate on Ramesh. If we go to Ramesh and see, if Ramesh has bought 5 pens and 3 pencils, let us say pencil cost 5 rupees each. So 5x plus 3, 65. 5x plus 15 equal to 65. So 5x equal to 65 and 15, 50. X is equal to 10. So if the cost of one pencil is 5 rupees, cost of the pen is 10 rupees. Okay? Let us say that the pen costs 5 rupees. So if the pen costs 5 rupees, then this time we have to find the pencil 65. So 25 plus 3y equal to 65. 65 plus 25 is 40. So 35 equal to 40. Y equal to 40 upon 3. So if the pen costs 5 rupees, pencil costs 40 upon 3 rupees. Now you can see here, as I keep on changing the price of the pen, the price of the pencil keeps on changing. So I will get infinite answers. I keep on changing when I keep the other gets changed. But we also have a second case now. The second case of Suresh. Second case is Suresh. Suresh has brought 3 pens and 2 pencils for 40 rupees. Now, since both have bought pens and both have bought pencils, then the cost of the pens should remain the same and pencil should remain the same. Now you can see here how many equations I have. I've got 2 equations. Now when I take the equations separately, when I take x equal to 10, I get y equal to 5. When I take x equal to 5, I get y equal to 40 upon 3 in this equation. In the same way, if I keep on changing the x here, I get a value of y. But there will be infinite answers for this and infinite answers for this. But there will be only one answer for x and y, where both the equations are satisfied, and that will be the solution of this equation. So, solution we will find later on, but first you have to understand when we have to find. Say I got this equation. Let me call this equation a1x plus b1y plus c1 equal to 0. What I have written here? a1x, I call this phi a1, b1 is 3, c is minus 65. Now let me rearrange this. 65 right, minus 65 equal to 0. Here I will write 40 on this side, minus 40 equal to 0. This equation will become a2x plus b2y plus c2 equal to 0. So I have got 2 equations. Now what I am trying to tell you, and you have to understand, suppose I got only one equation. Okay? This equation would say make a line. So when I plot the graph, when I plot this graph, then let us say it makes a line like this. There is a line. Okay? Now you can see when the value of x keeps on changing, the value of y keeps on changing, there are infinite possibilities. But we will not go here. Okay? And will not go here. Why I removed this? Can you guess? Why I cut off this part and why I cut off this part? Because the cost of the pen and pencil we cannot take negative. So I removed the minus x. There cannot be a minus x. This is the minus x. So we cannot have a price which is negative. Same way, here the x is the cost of the pencil. So this is the pen. This is the pencil. So x cannot be negative. The pen cannot be negative. And y cannot be negative because the pencil cannot be negative. So this is the only line we have to take. But just for the simplicity's sake, I drew it. Let me say this is a straight line. So this is for this line. Now here there will be 3 possibilities. Which three possibilities? When I draw this second line, the second line can be exactly on the first line. When the first and the second line exactly on the same, then we call it coinciding. Coincide means one over the other. So you can see all the points on the one line are all the points on the second line, all the points are the same. Then there will be infinite solutions. Infinite. How many solutions will be there? Infinite solutions. Infinite solutions means we can never find the exact price of the pen and the pencil. It is possible that the second line when we draw makes a parallel line. You can see both these lines are parallel lines. Parallel lines means they never intersect. So there will be no value of x and value of y which will satisfy both this equation. It is not possible. If both the lines are parallel, then there will never be any value of x and y together which can solve this equation. So we will say here there are no solutions. No solutions. But if one line is this and the second line is this, then both this line intersect at one point. Both these lines, and this will be the solution. This will be the x and this will be the y. X comma y will be the solution. So we have one solution. So see the possibilities. So what have you understood so far? When there are two variables, one equation will give you infinite solutions. This equation will give you infinite solutions. There are infinite points on this line. There are infinite points on this line. But if these lines are coinciding, then all the points are common. There will be infinite solutions. So you'll never know the exact price. If these two lines become parallel, then they never intersect. So you'll find no point, no value of x, y, which will satisfy both these equations. But if the lines are intersecting, then they intersect at only one point, and this point will give us the solution. So how will we write it from this equation? So you have to try to understand. So we will see, you can write down, when a1 upon a2 equal to b1 upon b2 equal to c1 upon c2. Compare this. Say a1 and a2, take the ratio, take b1 and b2, the ratio, take c1 and c2, the ratio. If these ratios are equal, then you will get this condition, infinite solutions. Second, a1 upon a2 is equal to b1 upon b2 is not equal to c1 upon c2, we will get no solutions. These are the parallel lines. We will get no solutions. But if a1 upon a2 is not equal to b1 upon b2, then we will get one solution. Okay? Then we will get only one solution. Now since we have got infinite and their solutions, these two are called consistent because these two give us a solution. So infinite solutions of one solution is consistent, no solution is inconsistent. Inconsistent means there are no, this means no solution means inconsistent, no solution. Whether there is a solution infinite or one solution means it is consistent. Okay? Now let us check. a1 upon a2, 5 upon 3. a1 upon a2 is 5 upon 3. Check here. Let us write a1 upon a2. What is a1 upon a2? 5 upon 3. b1 upon b2 is equal to 3 upon 2. So, look at the condition. 5 upon 3 is not equal to 3 upon 2. So, a1 upon a2 is not equal to b1 upon b2, and this will give us one solution. So, keep this in mind. This is going to give us one solution. So, we are going to find out. Ramesh and Suresh have brought 5 pens and 3 pencils. Okay, Ramesh has brought 5 pens, 3 pencils. Suresh has brought 3 pens, 2 pencils. And because a1 upon a2 is not equal to b1 upon b2, we will find the solution. Now, how we will find the solution is the method we are going to do, which we will do the next time. Okay, so the methods will go to the next time. This time, what you have to understand? So basically, if you rewind this video and see, there are some things you need to see here. We first need equations in one variable. These are equations in two variable. Equations in two variable can be quadratic, cubic or linear. This is a linear equation in two variables. Why? Because they have got degree 1. But what you have to understand here, because there were two variables, one equation will not give you the answer. In a single variable, only one equation can give you the answer. You can do the factorization method, completing the square method, whatever method, one equation will give you the answer. When there are two variables, then one equation cannot give you the answer. You need to have minimum of two equations. Because there are two variables, you will need two equations. And in the further classes you will learn, when there are three variables, you will need three equations. So when there is only one variable, one equation is enough to find the roots. When there are two variables, you need a minimum of two equations. And so on. When there are three variables, you will see in the future further classes what three variables mean. It will be in the 11th and the 12th. But when there are three variables, then you will have three equations will be needed. And so on. So if the number of variables become 4, you will need 4 equations. Okay? But that is for the further classes. Now, we have got two equations. Okay, here you can see a1x plus b1y plus c1 I call the first equation. a2x plus b2y plus c2 I call the second equation. What is a1? It is the coefficient of x in the first equation. b1 is the coefficient of y in the first equation. In the same way, a2 is the coefficient of x in the second equation. So I got these two equations, but here also the equations when I plot the lines. Now when I am going to plot the lines in the next lecture, I am going to plot the lines. But what happens when you plot the lines? Sometimes the two equations can coincide one over the other. When it happens, we will see. When they coincide, then all the points on one line are all the points on the second line. So there are infinite solutions. This happens when a1 upon a2 equal to b1 upon b2 equal to c1 upon c2. So let me write one example. Let us write an example. Let us say we have got 5x plus 3y minus 65 equal to 0. So 25x plus 15y minus 325 equal to 0. If you will check this equation, okay, check this equation. 5 upon 25, a1 upon a2, 5 upon 25 is 1 upon 5. b1 upon b2, 3 upon 15 is 1 upon 5. c1 upon c2, minus 65 upon minus 325 is also 1 upon 5. So a1 upon a2 equal to b1 upon b2 equal to c1 upon c2. There will be infinite equations. We are going to plot equations of this type and see. For that we'll need the graph paper, which we'll do in the next lecture. Then a1 upon a2 equal to b1 upon b2. So a1 upon a2 equal to b1 upon b2, and I put the value here, say 125. So now you can see a1 upon a2 equal to b1 upon b2 is not equal to c1 upon c2. Then the lines will become parallel. They will have no equations, no solution, sorry. And in the third case, suppose I have got 5x upon 20x. So 5 upon 20 is 1 upon 4, 3 upon 5 is 1 upon 5, 3 upon 15. So when a1 is not equal to a1 upon a2 is not equal to b1 upon b2, then I will have one solution. So in the first lecture we have understood a very simple part. What have you understood so far? That when the equation has got two variables, you need a minimum of two equations. But even if you have got two equations, then the number of solutions will depend upon these conditions. So note this down. You have to check if a1 upon a2 equal to b1 upon b2 equal to c1 upon c2, there are infinite solutions. If a1 upon a2 equal to b1 upon b2 is not equal to c1 upon c2, the lines are parallel with no solution. And only when a1 upon a2 is not equal to b1 upon b2, then we have got a unique solution or one solution. So in the next chapter now we are going to find out how to find the solutions. So we are going to go to different methods. There are 4 different methods and we will solve them one by one. For this first lecture, all you have to do is try to understand. So now, as the homework, try to make some simultaneous, these are called simultaneous equations or linear equations in two variables. For the homework, try to make a few linear equations of your own. Okay, so we are going to end this lecture here. Thank you.